It's racist to oppose ICE. It might surprise you that opposing ICE, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, is racist. However, this was defined as such when Barack Obama was president. In 2026, the U.S. Constitution still determines whether the federal government has jurisdiction over the states. If you'll recall, President Barack Obama and his Attorney General, Eric Holder, took any state to court that tried to enact laws to handle illegal immigration. This is from Reuters. Obama administration sues Arizona over immigration law. Read this section here. The Justice Department acknowledged that Arizona legislators had legitimate concerns about illegal immigration, but noted that the U.S. Constitution gave the federal government sole authority over immigration matters. So, according to President Barack Obama and his Attorney General Eric Holder, the federal government, not states, have sole authority over immigration matters based on the U.S. Constitution. Let's go to the actual court case. Arizona versus United States, 2012. The issue was whether state governments have the authority to enact immigration policies that enforce federal immigration law. So that's interesting. Apparently, back when a Democrat was president, it was not something up to the states to determine how federal immigration law was enforced. So you really can't change the Constitution or federal law just because a Republican is now president in 2026. The American news media also has a very different definition of what is considered dictatorial behavior by the American president in 2026 as compared to the enlightened administration 13 years ago of President Barack Obama. Let's watch this clip together of MSNBC's Lawrence O'Donnell, now called MS Now in 2026, as they report on the peculiar confrontation of Republican Governor Jan Brewer of Arizona with President Barack Obama over whether states, not the federal government, have the right to set immigration policy.
President Obama talked about his very strange encounter with Arizona Governor Jan Brewer yesterday.
Okay, so it's very strange if a governor insists that states have the right to enforce or set immigration policy. This is a very different attitude that Democrat mayors, Democrat governors, Democrat representatives, and Democrat senators are telling us that the law says today in 2026.
What I've discovered is that I think it's always good publicity for a Republican if they're in an argument with me. But this was really not a big deal.
Now you'll notice that Republican governors were not ordering riots and obstruction of ICE and resisting ICE and especially blocking ICE with your SUV or attempting to run over ICE agents with your SUV 13 years ago. So apparently this was just peculiar behavior by one Republican governor. There wasn't a nationwide effort by Republicans to block President Obama's authority as president. Let's continue.
How did that happen?
Well, it's wrong. It's wrong in two ways, Lawrence. Number one, it's just impolite. And it's the President of the United States. They invite you to come and greet the president. I did it as mayor and I did it as governor. And if you accept the invitation, you don't have to accept the invitation.
Right.
If
you don't have to go.
You don't have to go. If you're there, you treat the president with respect. You don't point a finger in his face. If you've got something to talk to the president about and you're angry about, do it inside. But number one, you don't do that in public and disrespect the president. And number two, you don't tug on Superman's cape. Every governor's got to know that
Think about that for a moment. In 2026, the Democratic Party is telling us that every American must oppose mad dictator Trump and his enforcement of existing federal law with illegal immigration. But 13 years ago, when it was Barack Obama, MSNBC was telling us, don't tug on Superman's cape, meaning the president, in their view, was Superman.
You better have a decent relationship with that president, at least a relationship that's a friendly relationship, if not politically allies. So it's dumb and it's disrespectful.
So it's dumb and disrespectful to have any political opinion that was different from President Barack Obama. Why isn't that the same thing in 2026? It's obvious that the Democratic Party values their power and ideology more than the law and the U.S. Constitution. And if you don't believe me, go back to what Lawrence O'Donnell and his guests asserted 13 years ago. Then, opposing the president was tugging on Superman's cape and was disrespectful of the presidency itself. Thank you.